this right here, then we can decide if another meeting is,
I think we're voting to adopt or not adopt.
okay, then it's.
This is the first reading of the ordinance. You'll come
Okay.
back on the second reading on the 24th.
Okay, then we can have to, Vanessa Robertson, aye.
Tommy Jefferson, nay.
Matt Campbell, aye.
First to hear it.
All right, the tentative budget hearing is now closed. Moving on to item number 3, approval of the August 12th budget workshop meeting minutes, August 13th regular monthly city council meeting minutes, and the August 26th budget workshop meeting minutes. Pleasure of the council.
All motion.
Motion and a second. Minutes are approved. Sorry. All in favor? Opposed, like sign. All right, moving on to item number 4, public comments. Just a reminder, you are limited to 3 minutes. And again, this is not a question and answer process. We're just simply accepting comments from the public. We can legally, you can get up there and sing me your favorite 3-minute song if you want to. So I'm going to go just in order. If you have a specific item number in which you'd like to save your comment for, please just let me know when I call your name. So the first person is Tracy Henderson.
You don't want me to say it for you.
Ma'am?
You don't want me to say it.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I didn't bring this up, but you could go to the podium over, I'm sorry.
I am a retired teacher, so I have handouts.
All right.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Tracy Henderson. I'm a retired teacher, but I work now as an educational consultant for River Oak Technical College. So I'm here on behalf of some of the upcoming events that are going to be going on at River Oak. Every year in November, River Oak honors our military vets. We try to honor our local vets. We try to honor the veterans that work at the campus of River Oak as well as the other school system. And this year we have several activities. Our most exciting one is the first annual 5K, River Oak 5K walk run for veterans, which is going to benefit Hooked on Heroes and our River Oak Skills competition teams. And it's going to be the date of Saturday, November 9th. It is, as I said, the first time we're doing this, and we are excited about it. We hope it'll be an annual event. We're tickled that it benefits the veterans as well as students, kind of a 2-for bonus there. The run will start, or I should say the walk run, will start at 8 o'clock. Check-in will be at 8 o'clock with the actual participation beginning at 9. We will start and finish in front of River Oaks campus, right there at the front parking lot. So everybody should be finished in time for college football that day. We made sure of that. I encourage you to take part in this event, either as a participant. We ask that you post flyers in your place of business, put it on your social media. I think I've spoken with Mr. Bill about getting it on the city's Facebook page. And consider becoming a sponsor. We have 3 levels, gold, silver, and bronze. And that's on your flyer there. It's a save the date flyer. I will put some in the front on the table here. And but check River Oaks Facebook page and Instagram page for updated information. Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Matt, you gonna walk?
I might walk,
You
yeah.
might walk.
Briskly. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right, Mr. Robert Flynn.
I'm gonna wait till we talk about the flood
The flooding stuff, okay. Yes, sir, so that'll be Miss Robinson's item, all right. Jeff Shalhoub, Mr. Jeff Shalhoub.
Yes, over on the Park Street where I live at, we also have some construction going on.
Make sure you tell us your name first, just for the record.
Jeff Shalhoub.
All right, thank you.
Over on Park Street where I live, they have the construction that's going on starting in our neighborhood, which he has started. He took all the debris and pushed them out into the city easement for the Debbie debris to be picked up, which I have talked to the city manager several times. But now the debris that he didn't push out onto Railroad for the city and Debbie debris crews to clean up, he also pushed it up against my street, Park Street. The street that I live on is not a very big street. You can barely get 2 cars there. So now we have all this debris that's pushed right up onto the city easement. And I've been asking and begging, you know, for somebody to come out there and push it back or get it off there. The stop signs are about up to 5 foot tall. They come out here and weed eat around one stop sign. Didn't make a lot of sense, but you know, I'm just asking for a little bit of help here with getting some of this stuff taken care of. The chief actually came out and picked up some sticks and stuff that were left in the road. Thanks to the chief, I appreciate that. The chief of police.
I got you. Yes, sir.
But you know, I would also, you know, like a little bit more attention around there, if all possible.
All right, I see Mr. Sessions making notes, so.
I would appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Mr. President, I don't want to ask any question of Mr. Salou or answers. I just want to apologize to him for not getting back with him with some answers to what he had called me about. So I humbly apologize. I was down south, Hollywood, so
All right. Number 4, got Miss Virginia Smith.
Virginia Smith. I have a doctorate in pharmacy. I bring that up because it was brought up last month. I'm going to be talking toward that. I live at 9194 132nd Terrace, Marlow, Florida. I'm usually pretty quiet, but I'm compelled to speak tonight in response to the way that several public speakers were treated last month. Since the 60s, we're all familiar with our speech being censored with political correctness, and during COVID we have the misinformation movement. And we, the public, we have a right to speak. We're limited to 3 minutes, and I understand that. We try to be efficient, but that means that we're going to leave a few things out. We can't say everything in 3 minutes. And when I felt like attacked by the council, one of the council members actually asked the speaker's level of education and then asked if all the speakers were, any of them, doctors. And I would like to respond to that and say, if you want to make a judgment about our ability to speak on something, if we're doctors, then maybe we can make a judgment about you making opinions that we've got to accept. I'm a doctor of pharmacy. Additionally, the evidence that was presented, and it was presented quickly in 3 minutes, it was condemned because it didn't have the references in it, and they were, the speaker explained that that had been provided before and would be provided again. And it also said it didn't contain any live oak data on the clinical trials. And clinical trials are important because they are a way that medicine can be advanced by doing a clinical trial on one group of people, and you can apply it to people around the world, and you can save lives, you can make health better. You don't wait for a clinical trial in each and every population. Also, these speakers, they had no personal gains in this. They came up here to speak because they're concerned about the children of Live Oak, the general well-being and the development of the children of Live Oak. And I think they deserve to be listened to with respect. And I hate to single you out, Mayor, but I was in another meeting this month, and it was at City Hall, and it brought together local businesses. And one of the business owners mentioned, he asked a question. He said, I've lived here for 7 years. I've had my business here for 7 years. I've seen the mayor walk down the sidewalk in front of my store once. He's never been in my store. How can he represent me to the outside people if he doesn't know what I have? So, to me, we were being censored at the last city meeting. And now, in a sense, because my application to all of you is I'm running out of time.
Yes, ma'am.
Is
You're out.
that
It
is
didn't-
censoring
didn't
by
do it.
omission. You're not talking to the people. And so,
I'm sorry about your time.
Please, thank you.
I'm sorry. Yep. There we go. I don't know
I
what.
turned the speaker on.
Delay, sorry. Apologies. All right, Mr. Jeff Bradford.
Good evening. Jeff Bradford, 619 2nd Street. So I'm also involved in the project that's starting at Railroad. There's been no construction underway. There's been some demolition of some other buildings. The trees that were moved, they were not on the city's easement. We were clearing the property and mowing it due to a complaint that was made by a local resident. Prior to us owning that property for years, there were dilapidated mobile homes. There was a house on the corner that was no power to it. It was opened up. Vagrants were living in it. Since acquiring the property, we've removed the buildings, the blight on the city, the slum in that area. And it seems that the more we do to expose the potential nefarious activities that are happening in that area, the more complaints we get. This is one of the problems with growing and developing an area. We've mowed the land. The trees that are there have been there for years. I moved them so that we could get to them to load them up. I had no contact with any of the people that were with the storm, the Debbie cleanup crew. They actually removed, they get paid by the load, and they went onto the property and removed it. So it was not on the city easement. According to the property markers and the survey that we have, it was placed to the edge of the city's easement on our side so that we could get in there and remove it. We're going to continue to clean up the area. We're going to continue to move forward. And I really hope that we can find some way to be neighborly with one another and stop this nonsense and foolishness of wasting the city manager's time every day with complaints and code enforcement's time. There's numerous other issues in the area that we don't call and complain about. At some point, it will need to be addressed, and code enforcement will need to do a ride through on all the properties. As we know, throughout the city, there's a huge issue with code enforcement. Just driving here today, I drove through a neighborhood. There were 7 vehicles without tags and registrations parked in an open area, vehicles on blocks. I mean, we were notified by code enforcement that we need to mow the grass. I got 6 people over there and 5 pieces of equipment, and in one day, we got all the grass taken care of because we want to stay compliant, and I don't want to have code enforcement have to do the paperwork. I can stretch it out. I talked to him, he said, I would appreciate it if you mow it. There's a process, I know the process. I can stretch it out for months. I don't want to do that. We're working on removing the trees, moving forward with developing the property, and helping to provide housing for the city of Blythewood. I truly hope that whatever activities have been going on in there that have been sheltered by all the growth, that it stops and it ceases to happen. Thank you for your time.
All right, Mr. Vince Smith?
Pass. Pass.
Not, okay, so you're not speaking this evening? All right, Ricky Mills?
Pass.
Sir. All right, Mr. Moses Klepper?
Yeah, Moses Klepper, 14581, 102nd Pass, 50. Ms. she spoke on the censorship thing, and actually it's stimulated a thought for me. That wasn't on my list of things to say, but I want to hit on that real quick. Y'all have, I know y'all are elected to be up there, and then there's people appointed and all that. I get that. but y'all have some concerned citizens out here. I'm looking at some I know personally, and I have interactions with them. They do a lot of work for y'all, if y'all utilize them, you know, and for y'all, even the 3-minute deal, that's offensive to me. If y'all had 200 people in here, I'd understand 3 minutes. But what that 3-minute deal, and as soon as that loud noise goes off or don't go off, and y'all cut somebody off that's up here and done some research and is concerned and all, and you shut them off, that's offensive. That speaks volumes to anybody who's paying attention. Y'all don't really want to hear what the people in this community have to say. What the lady was saying about the mayor and all that, I don't know how important that is, but it is, you know, y'all should, that's y'all's job, you know, y'all supposed to care what we think. I recommended to the county commissioners, now this is gonna be a shocker for some of y'all, hopefully it wouldn't be. I'd love to hear one of y'all tell me y'all are already doing it. Any of y'all got 10% of your, or have all your constituents on an email or a text thread, and randomly before every meeting, every time you have an agenda, do you go and take 10% of that list randomly, and you could do an algorithm to make that happen, and survey your constituents. And not saying you have to necessarily go with them, but 10% of that, of your constituents would tell you the heartbeat of your constituents. I'd love to see that happen countywide. And that's all part of what, I'm beating the drum again on the consolidation of the 2 governments in this county. I see a lot of inefficiency due to the 2 different governments. Double spending, extra, I've beat that drum since I've been here. It's not going anywhere fast. I do know that I've spoken to a lot of people that would have something to say about that. Many are willing if the right people are in place, you know. And the theory that we have, the people that are pushing for that, don't want anybody to lose their jobs initially. That attrition, people would work through attrition, through the transition period, it would take everybody, you know. And then the people who retired didn't get replaced until there was sustainable amount of employment. And going back to the toxins in the water, I hope that comes back up. And it's not, I actually have a bachelor's in health science as well too. So my research was done through double blind studies, and anyway, time's up.
All right, Ms. Cheryl Pruitt.
Well, I'm not here to accuse or nothing like that, but my name is Cheryl Pruitt, 125 2nd Street, Northwest Lubbock. I'm getting to where I dread coming. If I didn't have to take notes and go back and report it. Tommy, I appreciate you standing and saying what you did about the shirt. That way it kept me from having to say anything. I hope it was your idea. Stand and do what you said. A house divided will not stand. You know, and I've been at this for a long time, and is this your agenda or is it our community's agenda, what you're working on? You know, I really have no agenda when it comes to my community. We try to do the best we can. Like my husband, you know, people can come up here and complain about the storm drains or plug. My husband goes out and he cleans ours out. You know what Kennedy said, don't ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And I was very young, like 12 years old, when I heard that statement, and I still find that true. I commend all of you that's up here, that you do dress very professional. I do ask that you do act professional too. Not that I do everything right, but my prayers are with every one of you. I've got all of your backs. I really do. With the help of the Lord. Tommy, I've got yours too, and you know that. We've discussed that, and anything I can do to help, I'll help you. But you're right. We're the constituents. We're the people that's out here that's telling you our problems. I know it's not going to be a quick fix. And I know that this thing about, you know, what did you do this morning, sir? I went down to get a man's phone number and have him call and tell him that that Larry Sessions would like to speak to him. I'll do anything I can to help. But we're human too. I mean, just because you're sitting on a platform don't mean that you have to look down on us. Come on. You know, I appreciate all of you. And I appreciate what you're doing. If there's anything that we can help, you know, but I'll do that. I'll clean the storm drain myself before all that get piled up and then come up here and complain about your workers haven't done it. A whole load, a grocery cart slapped full of beer bottles. My husband went out there, he cleaned it up. Tommy, you know that. You're over my district. That's all I got to say.
All right, moving on to item number 5, Mayor. Mayor of the City.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have before you tonight Resolution 2024-27, a reappointment of Bradley Hellingston to the Live Oak Housing Authority. Put a memo in the council's packet, so
Read that by title only, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
City Council Resolution 2024-027, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Live Oak, Florida, appointing a commissioner to the Housing Authority Board, repealing all resolutions in conflict and providing for an effective date.
All right. What will be the pleasure of the council?
Comment on that.
We have discussion. There'll be discussion time.
I make a motion that we approve a city council resolution number 2024-027.
All right, we have a motion. I'll second. And a second. Now discussion.
Yes, this appointment to the Housing Authority Board. Once again, I've been doing this